I've been heavily involved with the Nashville mayoral race because I hate the city, I hate the bachelorettes, I hate the pedal taverns, I hate country music, I hate all of the things that make Nashville apparently an it city to the rest of the country, but I hate it. Yeah, I'm that girl at the airport that all these bachelorettes are giddy walking out in their two-toned colored Pantone pink shirts, and they walk out and they're like, oh my god, Nashville is so bad!
They're so loud.
Hey, we are live. Welcome into Courageous Media. Really appreciate everybody rolling up today. Thanks so much for being here. Hey, Charles Rexford in the house, in early. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. I do have some good news today, tempered by some not so good news. But the good news today is that this socialist hack, we played that little clip just to remind you of who she is. This is Aftyn Behn. And she was the one who the Democrats and the liberal media and everybody was all giddy about because she was running in the special election in Tennessee's 7th district, a district that the congressman retired. He won that seat by 20 points. Trump won the district by 20 points, 22 points actually. And suddenly the Dems thought that this district was in play. Well, turns out it wasn't so much in play after all. And that little clip of her hating on Nashville, the city that sits basically at the center of this district, didn't age so well. Aftyn Behn is a far-left socialist hack. She is a disgusting trope of an individual. And yet the media fawned all over her. They loved the fact that could she defeat someone in a big Republican district? Well, the answer is no. She went down to defeat yesterday in the special election. Now, here's that's the good news. The good news is the socialist hack is gone, at least for now, at least for the next 2 years. She's defeated. She can go away. She can go sulk in the corner. The bad news is that in a district that Trump won by 22, Van Epps only won by 8. He won his by 8.9, so almost 9 points. But it was not even a double-digit win. So we're going to dive into that. As to why that is, why I think that is, where this is coming from. But really appreciate everybody rolling up. Treville Deschamps, bonjour. Bonjour, monsieur, ça va? So glad you're here from France. Debbie, thank God for the great state of Tennessee. Absolutely. All right, let's dive right into this. Pull this up.
And the congressman-elect joins us now. Sir, congratulations. I always thought you were going to win. Did it feel closer to you, though, than you would have imagined when you first won the primary?
We loved our margin of victory. It was a resounding win. I'm so grateful for the president's early and strong support. And the president brought his entire political operation behind us, MAGA Inc., the full operation, and it propelled us to victory. And I was so grateful for that.
And the congressman-elect joins us now.
So this goes to show you, again, when you run with Trump, your chances of winning are far better than when you try to run away from Trump. Now, this is going to be an issue, obviously, in 3 years, in 28, when Trump is no longer on the ballot. So here we have Van Epps winning by 8.9 points over Aftyn Behn. Now, I wanted to get into her comments because her little speech, it sounds like she's going to try to be back in 2 years in the 26 midterms. I think his seat will be up again in 26. But let's check out Aftyn Behn's comments before we get into the analysis of why the Dems seem to pick up 13 to 14 points in this district. Let's go.
Good morning to you, Dana. Congressman-elect Matt Van Epps says President Trump's support led him to victory, and he pledged to be all in with President Trump when he goes to Congress.
I say this to my friends in the liberal media and to the professional panickers in my own party. Tonight we showed running from Trump is how you lose. Running with Trump is how you win.
Van Epps won by a single-digit margin in a district that retired Congressman Mark Green carried by 21 points last year, and President Trump by 22 points. Democrats say that bodes well for next year's midterm elections, and their candidate's concession speech was surprisingly upbeat.
Tonight is not the final result of what we wanted, but it is the beginning of something so powerful in Tennessee and across the South.
Aftyn Behn, who faced criticism during her campaign for earlier comments disparaging Nashville tourist attractions and country music, wore a rhinestone-studded denim outfit last night and sang 9 to 5 by country music legend Dolly Parton. Parton, who has remained politically neutral throughout her storied music career, of course, was not on the ballot, but a clear winner last night. Dana and Bill, back to you.
All right, Jonathan, Sari.
So let's get into this because we have a Trump district that Trump won by 22 points. And Van Epps managed to retake this seat by just 9. Let's call it 9 points. So it's a 13-point swing to the Democrats. Is it really the Democrats are loving this complete hack of a far-left socialist? I don't think so. I don't think this is a moratorium. As Aftyn Behn said there, I don't think this is the start of something powerful where socialism is going to sweep across the South. I don't think so. We have to take into account a couple factors as we analyze what we just saw here. One, this is a special election. It's off term. It's not even in November. So this is a special election that didn't even happen on a normal election day on an off term. So it's not a midterm. Well, let's start with the top. It's not a presidential election year. So it's not that. It's not even a midterm election year. It's not that. It's not even an off midterm election year because it's not November, it's in December. So you've got completely messed up voter turnout demographics that you're looking at. So again, Trump was not as necessarily on the ballot. Even though we can try to put him on the ballot as Republicans, as MAGA, we want to put him on the ballot whenever we can. In this particular case, trying to get this as a moratorium on Trump because people vote, they turn out for Trump. But when Trump isn't actually on the ballot, there is a whole swath of voters who don't even pay attention. They don't pay attention to the race. They don't show up to vote. They don't turn out. So because Trump has the magical capability of getting low propensity voters out on elections when he is on the ballot. Hence why he can win with huge margins. And then we turn around in midterm elections and those margins seem to disappear a lot because again, Trump is not on the ballot. Now, so that's aspect number one. Aspect number two, though, is the fact that because Trump is in office, I think the Dems have been very successful in getting their far left, socialist hack, Trump deranged, hating, I hate America crowd, ginned up, roiled up, and out to vote. Realize that we saw this. There were 3 special elections in April. So Trump was newly minted in office. He hadn't even been in office barely 2 months. And there were 3 special elections in which, the couple of them in Florida, the Republicans won. But again, they won in districts that Trump carried by 20 plus points. And you saw swings of 14 to 18 points for the Democrat. That was before there was even anything to complain about with Trump. Trump was brand new. So it had nothing to do with what Trump had done as president. It had nothing to do with his so-called, this was a Trump approval rating dragging down the candidates. None of that was true back in April. No. What was true was that Trump was in office, was that Trump defeated Kamala Harris, was that Trump was sitting there and all the lefties who were so, basically invested in far left hack socialist Kamala Harris taking over the country and destroying America were out of their candidate. So they were energized. They were ready to go do battle with Trump. And so you saw Republicans still winning, but winning by far tighter margins. I think you're getting a combination of 2 things in this Tennessee race. One, again, it's off election. It's a special election. You're not going to get the same voter turnout. And 2, I think you're getting the residual effect of the Democrats have done unfortunately, a great job of ginning up their I hate America, Trump deranged, I hate Trump, far lefty crowd to basically go and vote as a I hate Trump, protest. And they're very good at getting people out to protest. And this was just another way of them protesting. Will this carry over into the 26 midterms? Unfortunately, I think you're going to keep a lot of this energy. The Dems are going to get a lot of these Trump deranged morons out to vote, which is why the Republicans have to do a much better job of framing the midterms as this is the Trump agenda that we are now voting for. Because if you let the Dems take over the House, there will be no more Trump agenda other than executive orders. We need to keep the House to maintain the Trump agenda. And at the same time, the House, the Republicans in the House and the Senate need to get off their proverbial arse and get Trump's agenda codified so that it can't be taken away in 18 months. Let me know what you think as we roll into this one last clip, because I wanted to get a little bit from Scott Jennings, who just, again, is toasting CNN. It's just beautiful to see. Exactly, Debbie Harkness. We must keep the House and Senate in the midterms, or we'll be putting Trump. Trump will be basically impeached again by these morons in the House. And I can't stand a lot of Republicans, but I hate the Democrats, and we cannot let them take over the House. So here we go. Check out Scott Jennings, who once again schools the CNN crowd on this whole thing.
Well, first of all, there's lessons to be learned from everything. When you win, there's lessons. When you lose, there's lessons. And so I'm sure they'll look and see who turned out and what messages were effective and which ones weren't. And that'll be something the party can move going forward. It's an off-year special election. The turnout matrix is far different than a presidential, and it'll be different than what comes out in November. So you can take nothing for granted, of course, and Republicans do have historical headwinds. I still think they are in position to make an argument that their economic theories are better than the Democrats' theories. And Democrats, after all, took prices to the moon, and now they want to forget the last 4 years and pretend like this just started 10 months ago. I think most voters know that's patently ridiculous. I do have a slight disagreement with David. I do think we'll hear from her again. I think she'll run again, and I think she and her brand of politics are the median Democrat. This is the basic Democrat you're going to get in most races around the country. This person running on defund the police, radical progressive positions, whether you're in Nashville or Manhattan or Florida or California, wherever you happen to be, this is what the Democratic base wants. The most cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs person they can find. And they're going to look at these results and say, hey, this is how we...
I think Scott Jennings is exactly right on this. And I think the reason he's right is I think the Democrats are looking at Zoran Mondani, and they are trying to figure out, okay, what can we run on? And I think Zoran Mondani ran on a combination of socialist cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, free crap, and TDS. He combined, I hate Trump with, I'm going to promise a bunch of free stuff I can't deliver. I'm going to say I'm a socialist. So I'm going to tap into all these buzzwords. I'm going to promise a bunch of free stuff that I will never, ever deliver on, that I have no intention of ever delivering on because I know I can't. And I hate Trump. I hate Trump, free stuff. Free stuff, I hate Trump. That's what Aftyn bears. That's what her whole message was. Defund the police, free stuff, socialist wacko nonsense, and I hate Trump. And I think the Dems are feeling that is their winning formula in 26. And it very well could pose some problems because they will, with that, they can help gin up their TDS base and they will get the money. They'll get the donations from the globalist cabal of corruptocrat donors that are out there who hate America, who hate the West, and want to destroy what we've built here for the last 200 years. Scott Jennings, I think, is prescient on this one.
We got so close, so let's replicate it around the country. I think we'll hear from her and her kind for the next year. I don't think it'll be good for Democrats.
But can I ask you on that? Because you said that she ran on defund the police. There were her past comments on that, but she said that was basically when she was a private citizen, before she was representing the state legislature. I mean, that wasn't like a core tenet of her campaign. She talked
about... I love Scott Jennings' face. Well, here's Caitlin Clark trying to carry the water for this socialist hack who said, defund the police. The woman who said, I hate Nashville. I hate everything about it. I hate the place that I live. But I'm going to run to be your representative. And oh yeah, but let's defund the police. She said it over and over again. And now when she was running for office, she tried to distance herself from it. She tried to back away from it, but everybody saw they were on video. So here's Caitlin Clark. Well, that's when she was a private citizen. What? Running for office somehow changes your beliefs? I love his face. Are you an idiot, Caitlin? Yes, she is.
About affordability. So I think my question is do you really think that's what every Democrat looks like? I mean, I don't think that was the main, that was something that a criticism of hers, obviously in past comments, but that wasn't the, tenet of her campaign or anything.
She got asked about it repeatedly and refused to back away from it. And look, I'm just telling you, this is what Democrats believe and this is what their base wants. It's why she wouldn't go back on it. I was just a private citizen. Oh my gosh, we've never held what you said as a private citizen against you in a political campaign. For goodness sakes, what a ridiculous way to just maintain a position that nobody likes. This is the median Democrat position. She is the median Democrat candidate, and that's what their base wants. So that's what we're in for, and Republicans need to draw bright lines on this stuff in every race in the country.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That is the new Democrat representative. That is the new base of the Democrat Party. It has shifted far left, which is why Elon Musk and Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. are now Republicans, because they look at this Democrat Party and go, this is nonsense. I don't want communist, socialist, woke crap. But that is what the new base of the Democrat Party is demanding. And that is the candidates that they will most likely get in 26 and 28. Let me know what you think, Debbie. I agree. I would love to see Scott Jennings, even though I love him on CNN, and he's the only reason that network even has one viewer, but he should take over a Senate seat. I totally agree. Let me know what you think in the comments. Really, it's a short one today. Please check out the other videos we're posting today. The best thing you can do to help the channel, subscribe if you haven't already, turn on those notifications, share Courageous Media with everybody that you know. But every video that we post, please watch it all the way through. Comment for the algorithm, like it, share it. And if you're willing, please join us as a member of the Courageous Army on YouTube. Really appreciate everybody rolling up. Remember, God is good and he is sovereign. It'll all be good in the end. Thank God we did not lose a House seat in this race. I'll catch you next time. Have a great day.